Na mtazamaji wa Aviation Tanzania, ni mimi tena Capt kutoka Aviation Tanzania, na leo kama nilivyoweza kukujuza hapo awali kwamba tumepata fursa ya kufika katika kampuni inayotoa huduma za helicopter, kwa maana kama unahitaji kusafiri kutoka sehemu moja ndani ya mji wa Dar es Salaam au hata nje ya mji wa Dar es Salaam, unaweza kupata huduma hapa katika kampuni ya State Aviation. Tunapata pia fursa ya kuweza kuzungumza na rubani, mmoja kati ya marubani ambao wanarusha helicopters za State Aviation, anaitwa Captain Wilson. Hi, Captain Wilson, can I call you Captain Wilson
absolutely.
or Captain Allan?
Captain Allan is fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hi, Captain Allan.
Thank you very much.
How are you doing?
Very, very well, and yourself?
I'm doing fine. Thank you so much for joining us on this interview, like
You're
a short interview.
Karibu.
Okay. Thank you. Oh, you know Swahili. What are other words you know in Swahili?
Not too many.
Like how many words do you know?
A lot less than I know of flying, so it's better, you know.
So it's like karibu means you're welcome. So
yeah, we can
thank
say
you so
a few
much,
things,
Mr. Allan.
No problem.
Captain Allan, can you tell us when did you start to deal in aviation industry as a pilot?
Yes, so I started in 2007. So I've been flying for quite a long time. As you can see, I'm quite an old man. So I've been flying for many, many years, helicopters, and so I specialize in helicopters.
Okay.
And we are well trained to fly, especially these helicopters. And yeah, it's been a really nice journey.
So ever since you started this pilot stuff, you only deal with helicopters and not any other aircraft?
Just helicopters, yeah.
Well, so you don't even know how it feels being in Airbus?
I do, but I'm not allowed to fly it, you know. Yes.
So have you ever flown any other type of aircraft?
Yeah,
like,
helicopters.
Helicopters?
No, so I've flown in other airplanes. I've flown in PC-12s, I've flown in caravans, I've flown in many planes, but I'm not licensed on them. So we fly with our friends. So I know exactly what they feel like. They're nice and fast, and they're lovely. But yeah, helicopters
What's
is the way.
What's the difference between flying the helicopter and the other type
Very
of
interesting
aircraft?
question. So the nice thing about the helicopter, it lands anywhere.
Okay.
Okay, that's an important thing. It's much slower, unfortunately.
Is that one among the things excites you? Landing in anywhere?
Absolutely.
Okay.
And we can do a lot with a helicopter that an aeroplane can't do.
Okay.
So that's the plus.
So do you think other aircraft are limited?
Very much so.
All right.
Very much so. Yeah.
So what motivates you to be in this pilot stuff?
You know, it's passion. Passion. When you wake up in the morning and you want to go and fly and make people happy, fly them, watch them climb out the aircraft, happy at their destination, can't get better than that.
So where you originally came from, Captain Allan?
So I'm actually right from the way back. I'm actually from Zimbabwe. All right, and then I've moved to South Africa, and I've been in South Africa ever since. And I live between Johannesburg and Durban, a place called Newcastle. That's my primary base. But obviously, as a helicopter pilot, we're all over the show.
And how long have you been in Tanzania?
I've been in Tanzania now 2 months. And I'm really enjoying it.
How did you get the connection from South Africa up to Tanzania in State Aviation?
So the company that I work for was in contact with State Aviation through various channels. There's a lot of trust between them too, and that's how we got the work.
How do you feel flying people in helicopter? What makes you be more satisfied that you can be able to move the people from one place to another by using a helicopter?
Good question. So there's a couple of things. I mean, one of the things is we've got to keep them safe.
Okay.
And you know, every time we do a landing or takeoff and we get them to the destination, there's that feeling of, you know what, I kept those people safe, I got them to their destination, they paid for a service, they got what they wanted, and they got it, and they're happy about it. And that's the sort of thing that makes us feel really accomplished, you know. Yeah.
Okay, so what are the precaution ways that you take before landing at anywhere? We know that helicopter is landing at any place, so which precautions are you taking before landing?
So often what we do is, if I'm going to land at an off-site base, not an airfield, I look on Google Maps and I have a look at the area, at the altitude. Is it high altitude? Is it on top of Kilimanjaro, for example, or is it low level by the sea? Because that plays a big part with the aircraft. And I have a look at if there's any objects in the way, any wires or any trees. And we also even phone the potential hotel or landowner and ask them if there's any obstacles in the way. And of course, we're always asking permission to land first. That's
Where
the main
are you
thing.
asking permission for?
At the landowner of the potential landing site. Because everywhere you land, It's normally got a hotel or a farm or a, you know.
So if it's on the top of the building, you're going to ask for the owner?
So yes, so absolutely. So wherever you go, you kind of have to ask permission. It's just good etiquette.
So I was just asking myself, the other type of aircraft, they are communicating with air traffic controllers.
Yes.
What about you?
Yes, we do the same thing. We deal with air traffic control while we're in flight. The whole time we speak to them. We file flight plans. They know exactly where they're going. We've got flight tracking, so they can actually track us on the helicopter. They know exactly where we're going, what height we're going. So from that point of view, we're covered. In other words, we comply with the Tanzanian Civil Aviation Authority, and we comply with their rules. That's the first step. Okay. Then the second step is if we're going to land off base, we need to ask permission of that specific owner if we can land on their property, and if he's happy with it, it's not a problem.
Okay. And, what are the special tactics that person need to have to be able to fly the helicopter, apart from the tactics needed to fly another type of aircraft?
So experience, experience.
Yeah.
You know, you need to have many hours of experience. You need to be able to fly this helicopter like you make a cup of coffee in the morning. Okay. Hopefully you can make a cup of coffee easily.
By the way,
that's it,
how many hours have you flying?
I've got about 4,000 hours of flying now.
Wow, congratulations.
Yes,
that's the main captain.
And that's all, thank you, and that's all hands-on. So there's no autopilot.
Okay.
It's all hands-on flying. So,
hands-on flying.
Yes, it's all hands-on flying. Yeah.
So I've seen that some of the package that you're providing in state aviation, you're doing this something called medical evacuation. Correct. How do you deal with that kind of situation when you know that you have a serious patient in the aircraft? How do you handle that until you make sure that you're landing safely and making sure that a patient is getting treatment?
Okay, excellent. So this helicopter is it's an actual medevac helicopter. Okay. In 10 minutes, I take out the seats. I've got a stretcher that I put in there. We've got oxygen, and we've got a medic.
All right.
So we can pick up a patient. If I get a call in Zanzibar and there's someone who needs to be evacuated from one of the islands, they got hurt, within 10 minutes I can get the helicopter rigged into a medevac helicopter, where the patient actually their feet actually are next to the pilot and their head is facing the back next to the medic, and we fly them to the nearest hospital. We communicate. So state aviation, while I'm busy, they get permission from the hospitals, they get clearance from the CAA, everybody's happy, they give me the go-ahead, the green light, and off I go.
What is the advice do you want to give the young aviators in Tanzania if they want to be a captain like you?
Yes, they must pursue it. You know what? Many people don't fly because they've never had the money to fly, and they actually would be very, very good pilots. Okay. And they just don't know it. Like some people will be very good doctors, but they're just never given the opportunity. So if they've got the opportunity, they must pursue it and try it out and see if they're good at it, it'll come naturally. And they'll be a very, very good captain at the end of the day.
All right. I almost forgot. Which type of aircraft do you frequently flying?
So we fly most of the time. We fly these long ranges. This is the Bell Long Ranger L4. It's a 7-seater helicopter, so it takes a lot of, can take a big load. Also fly the Robinson 44s. We fly the Squirrels. Robinson 44 is also a helicopter we fly a lot, because that's from a training point of view. Okay. And we train a lot of people on the R44. All right. But I primarily fly the Bell Long Ranger most of the time.
Thank you so much, Captain Wilson.
You're most welcome.
Do you know Zulu language?
A little bit of Zulu, yes. Zulu?
Yeah. If I say someone else, the meaning of that?
Hello, unjani.
Karibu Tanzania, Captain Wilson.
Thank you very much.
If I say Karibu, do you know how to respond?
You can tell me.
Okay, if I say Karibu, you have to say Asante.
Asante.
Yes.
But I know Asante, but I need to say Asante towards a lady, so I don't know how that part. I normally say Asante to the guys, but towards a lady, I'm not too sure.
It's just very good to say for both sides.
Thank you so much, Captain
You're most welcome.
Allan. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.